Installing the multi-funnel email software. Today we will be looking at the installation of the software on your own server. There are many advantages to doing this compared to using our server in the clouds, in that you have a full version without any restrictions. This puts everything you need to do under your own control, but of course you will be responsible for doing your own backup procedures. You may find your hosting plan isn't good enough for this, and I use siteground.co.uk, which you can see in front of you, for my hosting, and find that they give enough of everything, and every domain has the secure HTTPS in front of it. So I would advise you subscribing to this hosting service, as the support is second to none. This is not mandatory in order for you to install the software. You may have a strong enough hosting to do everything you will need on there. So try the one you have first, and if it doesn't suffice, then my advice is to change over to SiteGround. First thing you have to do is download the software and save it to your desktop or special folder. At this moment in time, the software is in a folder called MFE.zip. We are moving extremely fast, and the name of the file is changing all the time, so by the time you see this video the name may have changed yet again. So a word of warning, we are going to be doing a manual installation here, and so I want you to take notice of all the steps I am going to do. It would be so easy if you watch, then pause the video, do what I did, then watch again, next step, and follow on in that way. In your C panel, right, which you can see in front of you, I'm into my C panel, scroll down to the File Manager. Click on File Manager, and if you're used to WordPress, you can see that I'm in C panel and HT passwords and everything. But what I want you to take note of here on this navigation is this home cool body, okay? Now yours will be different. Yours will be home, and whatever your server domain is. This is my main domain for SiteGround, okay, so the server. Now what you've got to do is come down to public HTML and click on the left here. If you're on this is if you're on a shared server, which I am, okay. So I'm going to put the MFE on wealthyandwise.co.uk, and here's all my WordPress admin, WordPress content, and everything like this. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload the software. Now I've got it on my desktop, so I'm going to upload by clicking on this upload icon here. I click on that, I choose the file, I go into my desktop, I come down, find the file, it's there, double click on that, and as you can see down here near my arrow here, it's uploading, it's 5% uploaded. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video, and when it's fully uploaded I'll come back. Okay. Now you can see it's completed, so we go back home to Cool Body by clicking on Go Back To. So I'm going back to that, and you'll see the MFE zip is now installed here. Now we don't do anything else yet, because what you've got to do now, I'm going to install this on a subdirectory, so I'm going to have to make a new folder, which I will do, and I'll call it MFE, the same as, and I'm going to create the new folder, and then you'll see it here. Can you see it here? This is the MFE here, that's it there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to move it into MFE. Okay. Now when I double click on this MFE and open it, there's my zip file. Now the next thing we're going to do is click on this, and now we extract it. Okay, extract to files, yes. Once they're extracted, we close. Now we don't need the zip file any longer, so I delete it. I don't need it, so I'll delete it. That's gone. Okay, and delete the files. Now we've got it up and running. Well, we haven't got it up and running, we've got it there. So what we're going to do now is we go back to the C panel, and we need to make a database. Now don't be frightened, because this is quite simple to do. Now we come down and we come down again and we look for MySQL database wizard. Okay, you click on this and new database, and it'll be cool body something. So I'm going to do MFE. Oops, MFE. So this next step. Next I've got to create, see, so this is my database. So what I'm going to do here, I'm being clever here because this is what I want you to do as well. Copy it, bring up a notepad, put it in your notepad. Okay, so that's your database, cool body. Then we need a user, so I'm going to call it MFE. So let's have a user. Now we need a password. Now if you use the password generator, this gives you a very, very strong password. Okay, now this one is very strong, but if you're going to use this, remember you've got to copy this now, okay, and you've got to put it into your folder. Okay, here, so password is this, because you don't want to forget this and you're not going to be able to remember it. Now that is your password. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use my own password. I'm going to use I won't tell you what I'm going to use. Okay, that's one. It's very strong. It's a password I use all the time for this sort of work. And then I create the user. And I'll save that. Now, as you can see, we've got this now. We've got them two, so you can copy them here and decide to put them in here now. But if you use the password generator, I would just do this, and I would do that. Okay, so there you got your user, username, and your database, which are both the same on mine, and the password is there. But I'm not going to be putting that password. I should be putting it in by hand, okay, because I use the same one for all my work here. So okay, that's the way you would do it. Now what you've got to do now is give the user all privileges and go on to the next step. Okay, so now we've got our database completed and you have kept all your information here. Okay, I'll undo that and leave that there because I won't be using it, but that's what you're going to need in a little while. Okay, so let's go on from there. Okay, let's go there. Where are we? We've just made the database. Just give me a couple of seconds. I'll pause this. Okay, now we're coming to the cool stuff. So we go back to C panel. Excuse me, I've got a cough. Okay, we open a new tab. This is the next step, and we go into wealthyandwise.co.uk and we go /MFE. Okay, once you do that, you click that, and we have to wait now, and it'll bring up the installer. There it is. You see the installer, and it's installing, so you wait a few moments. Sorry, let me show you. It's got wealthyandwise.co MFE, and then it waited and installed, and as you can see, it's ready to install. My environment is okay. Next step. Okay, here we go. Now the local host is right. That's all I need. I don't need to change that point. But here where we want the database name, so What did I name it? I named the database CoolBody MFE. Put that in the database, paste. Then we had the username was CoolBody MFE. Copy and paste in there. And the password, I'm using my own password. Okay, now backup existing tables, we haven't got any. Prefix, we haven't got any there. So the next step we click on. Okay, now I've done the localhost to that. Don't need the database table, database username, password, next step. Verify, it'll get through, and as you can see, it's verifying the details and creating the database. Excuse me. Take some time, you've got to wait. Okay, now then, this is where I save this. This is where you have to use your own admin or whatever you're going to do. I'm going to do admin. My password will be the same one as I just did. Very strong password that I've memorized. My first name is Dennis. My last name is Rock. My email address will be support@wealthyandwise.co.uk. Okay, next step. Now it's going to ask us where should the email be sent. I'm going to do support@wealthyandwise, and how should the email be spooled or delivered. Now this, when you got spooled or delivered, I'm going to go cough again, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, the spooled or delivered, what it means is you can choose to send emails immediately, which would be the delivered, send immediately here, or you can queue. So spooled is queued, okay? Now, if you're going to be sending large volumes of email, well, I would definitely select spooled, which will be queued, okay? Now I've got thousands on my list, so I'm going to click on queue. But if you're only going to do a little bit of emailing, you can do send immediately, okay? Now we need to select a mailer transport, and as you can see, choose the type you're going to use. I recommend to start off with using PHP mail, which is the recommended, the default one. But you'll see a list here. Now, I actually use Amazon SES, okay? They're ideal for everything I need, and I can send out masses of emails. So I use Amazon SES. But it's up to you. You can use any of these or another SMTP server. But to start off with, use PHP mail. So I will do the same on this one. I'll go next step on this one. Now we should come to sign in. Okay, so the admin, and this one's a different, this is the different email, this is the one that I want to use. Okay, and now I can log in, and hopefully everything going well. There we go. Now we're in our software. Okay, pause this again. Okay, you're all up and running with this now, but you're not quite finished. In the next, we have to set up those cron jobs that I spoke about. So let's wrap up this lesson, and the next one will take you through setting up the cron jobs. Okay, so I'm happy with this lesson. I hope you are too. I'm hoping it's as clear as I wanted it to be.